message do you think that this sends to guys like Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, who've been rumored to want to fight against Tank Davis?
All good fighters. All those guys are good fighters, but none of them can fuck with Tank.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis is a fighter everyone fears because of his insane punching power. When he's in the ring, his ability to knock opponents out is something no one can ignore. His knockout record is impressive, with many of his fights ending early. What makes him so dangerous is that he can land a punch at any moment and completely change the fight.
King, this vicious right here. I ain't never seen a king hold his kingdom down.
Tank's power in both hands is what keeps his rivals on edge, always wondering when the next knockout might come. That kind of power is rare, and it's one of the biggest reasons why people consider Davis one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing today. When Tank Davis lands a punch, you don't just hear it, you feel it deep down. It's like the hardest punch you've ever taken. Seriously, it's that powerful. But here's the thing, it's not just about his strength. Tank has crazy speed and agility too. His footwork is so quick, and his hands are lightning fast. He can move around his opponent, land sharp combinations, and dodge punches like it's nothing. This mix of power and speed makes him almost impossible to predict. He can switch up his game plan in a second, keeping his opponents completely off balance and unable to get into their groove. Tank is a fighter who keeps you guessing from start to finish.
Isaac Cruz. He was 25-0, and he fought that little dude, that little pit bull coming at him all the time. And I mean, the movement, the boxing skills, that to me was the moment that Gervonta.
Tank Davis's defense is just as deadly as his punches. He's got a solid high guard, uses slick shoulder rolls, and his head movement is on point. His reflexes? Fast as lightning. He's tough to hit clean, and that drives his opponents crazy. When they get frustrated and start making mistakes, Tank is right there to take advantage. His defense doesn't just keep him safe, it also helps him save energy, so he can keep coming at you throughout the fight. It's wild to think that this small guy, who once sat quietly in the background, has turned into such a complete fighter, using every move to his advantage. A few years ago, Tank Davis was on his way to the top, following the path laid out by Floyd Mayweather. But things didn't go as planned, and their relationship turned sour. Tank's had plenty to say about his former promoter since then. A lot of people saw Tank as Floyd's protege, but imagine the matchup between them. That would be exciting. When Tank faces an opponent who's sharp and can go 12 rounds, he knows it's going to be a challenge. Floyd is the definition of focus. He's always on point, never letting anything crazy slip through. In the corner, you're not going to catch him off guard. Floyd's ability to stay composed and defend is something Tank would have to figure out if they ever went head-to-head. It's just not going to happen to Floyd Mayweather, but honestly, I've got Tank by knockout. You got to check out the full episode to see why.
Small, unknown guy who used to sit at the top of the boxing world a few years ago by the name of Floyd Mayweather. What happens in that fight?
Another relationship gone sour there.
Now, one of the coolest things about Tank Davis is how he can switch up his style and fight at any range. Whether he's right in the pocket, close to his opponent, or staying at a distance, he knows exactly how to make it work. Tank adapts to what his opponent is bringing to the table, finding their weaknesses, and using them against them. This makes him tough to predict, because he can handle all types of boxing styles and still come out on top, whether he's facing a hard-hitting puncher or a slick technician. Puncher, a counter-puncher, or a pure boxer, all right.
He is on point at all times, and he will not get caught with anything crazy, anything unruly in the corner. It's just not going to happen.
In going great, Gervonta Davis exudes confidence and possesses a strong mental fortitude. His self-belief and composure under pressure are evident in his performances. This mental toughness is crucial in high-stakes bouts as it allows him to remain focused and execute his game plan regardless of the situation. His ability to stay calm. Tank Davis stays cool under pressure, even when things get tough. That shows just how strong he is mentally. Some people don't give him enough credit for that, but trust me, he's one of the best out there. Now, Tank's got a different vibe, right?
All right. Hey guys, Adriana Jimenez Joan here with two-time and current WBA super featherweight champion Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta, just a couple days away from headlining your first U.S. base card against Hugo Ruiz, originally against Abner Mares, who we wish a speedy recovery.
He comes from a place that's built him into the person he is. But when it comes to boxing, he's definitely one of the top dogs. Let me break it down for you. Tank isn't just a puncher. He can actually box too. A lot of guys are either great at boxing or have knockout power, but Tank's got both. That's what makes him stand out from the rest. And here's the thing about his career. Tank's had some smart guidance. Floyd Mayweather and his team at Mayweather Promotions have been with him every step of the way. They've helped him make the right moves, build up his record, and get the experience he needs. It's all been part of the plan to help Tank reach the next level in his career. Training with Floyd Mayweather, one of the greatest boxers of all time, has been a game changer for Tank Davis. Floyd's knowledge and experience have given Tank priceless insights into the sport, and those intense training camps and sparring sessions have sharpened his skills to perfection.
Speedy recovery. How excited are you to get inside the ring and give us a great show?
I'm very excited, just to be back, just to be back in the ring, give my fans a great show.
But as Tank's career started to soar, things between him and Floyd began to shift. Tank Davis had the perfect opportunity to rise, with Floyd Mayweather always by his side. But if you've been keeping up, you know there's some serious tension between them. I've seen it online, and it's obvious that Tank has his issues with Floyd. I like both of them, but it's a tricky situation. Floyd's got a massive ego. He wants to be the top dog, and there's no denying that. But Tank's also trying to make his own name, and it seems like he has to step out of Floyd's shadow to really shine. Floyd's such a big figure in the sport, so it's not easy for anyone to break free from that. Shane Mosley opened up about his relationship with his son and how he could relate to the situation between Tank and Floyd. He said he had to step back and let his son do his own thing, have his own successes, and live his own life. When you're always around, even with the best intentions, it can unintentionally overshadow their shine. Shane made it clear, it wasn't that he didn't care or didn't want the best for his son. In fact, it was the opposite. But being too close can sometimes hold them back from truly standing on their own and finding their own path. It's all about giving space for growth. For Tank Davis and Floyd Mayweather, things started to get more tense when Tank voiced his frustrations publicly. He accused Floyd of trying to take the spotlight away from him, saying Floyd's involvement was more about keeping attention on himself than helping Tank.
Show, even the fans all over, a great show that's turning in on Showtime. I believe that I will have a great performance. I don't think I have.
Tank's frustration grew, and it started to play out in the public eye, especially on social media. The tension between them became more obvious for everyone to see. The tension kept building up between Tank and Floyd. Tank started to feel like Floyd was more interested in boosting his own legacy than actually supporting him. Floyd, being the outspoken person he is, didn't hold back either. He criticized Tank, saying he needed to show more respect and gratitude for everything Floyd had done for him. Things really heated up when reports came out that Floyd offered Tank $1 million to attend a press conference. Michael Benson shared this news, and Tank couldn't resist responding with a simple LOL. Tank then made a statement that stuck with a lot of people. It doesn't matter how much money a man has, he can still be jealous. He was calling out Floyd, wondering why someone with so much success would feel jealous of him. Tank has always said that Floyd is the one person who truly gets what he's going through. After all, Floyd's been there himself, fighting on the biggest stages.
How do you feel about Floyd and Tank beefing online?
I see it a little bit. I like both guys, so it's like.
That's why Tank has always looked to Floyd for advice. He knows Floyd is the only one who really understands what it's like to be in his position. Having Floyd around keeps him humble and on the right path. Well-conditioned athlete Davis consistently shows up in top physical shape for his fights. His conditioning allows him to maintain a high work rate and sustain his power and speed throughout the bout. This level of fitness not only enhances his performance, but also reduces the risk of fatigue, which can be a critical factor in later rounds.
So me being there all the time will shadow over all this stuff. Sometimes.
That's it, like, I don't go nowhere, some people just go away. And B, but you specifically me, I first of all, I get a camp house, you know, I'm out here like day one in the cam. I start running, probably like it's. What really sets Tank apart in the ring is his sharp mind. He doesn't just rely on power and speed. He knows the game inside and out. His ring IQ is one of the highest in the sport, and that's what allows him to outsmart opponents, adjusting his tactics on the fly. Whether it's controlling the pace or making a quick decision, Tank is always thinking ahead, making sure he stays one step ahead of whoever's across from him. Now, when it comes to the matchup with Lamont Roach, things get even more interesting. These two fighters have a history together, dating all the way back to their amateur days.
Not intentionally. I'm not doing it intentionally. I'm not trying to be like, I don't care about him. I want him to be the best. But
they've faced off before, going back and forth, and that makes this potential fight all the more exciting. Frank even brought it up during a stage appearance, saying it's definitely a fight people should look forward to. Could this be a game changer? It's something to keep an eye on. Now, let's talk about why Tank is such a big deal. It's not just about how good he is in the ring. His popularity, the crazy amount of fans cheering him on, and the media spotlight make him even more dangerous. It's like a whole other layer of pressure that his opponents feel when they face him. It's not just about the punches. They're up against his reputation too. The mental game is real, and it adds a whole new level to every fight. External factor can influence the mental state of his challengers, giving Davis yet another about his opponent. So that's all I got to say, but in my opinion, Tank should win, but you never know, okay? All right, Floyd, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. It was lovely meeting you, and hopefully we'll be able to catch up with you post-fight. Yes, of course. Thank you so much. Gervonta Tank Davis is one of the most exciting fighters in boxing right now, and there's a good reason for that. His combination of power, speed, and defense makes him almost impossible to beat. He's fast and can hit hard, but also knows how to avoid getting hit. What sets him apart is his ability to adjust to any situation in the ring, whether he's facing a power puncher or a slick boxer. He knows when to go all in and when to play it safe, making him unpredictable and tough to handle.